Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me for this segment, we have John Phillips, co-founder of PredictIt, the stock market for politics. John, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thank you, Jill. It's good to be back.
All right, and never a dull moment with PredictIt traders. For the first chart we're going to take a look at, let's go over to California. Of course, the recall election with Governor Newsom really is the key topic of conversation over there.
That's right. This thing looked early on as if it might be close, but it certainly doesn't look close now to PredictIt traders. They're giving Newsom 94% odds of walking away with this. And so that's 94 cents, gets you $1 if he beats the recall effort, or you could take the other side of that bet, which at 6 cents gets you $1 if he loses the recall effort.
Right. And John, we've been so focused about domestic issues here, whether it's Newsom, whether it's the hurricanes, or, us pulling out of Afghanistan. But there's actually a lot of global news that's taking place outside of that. And one of those areas, of course, is Germany and that election.
Sure. It actually is a fascinating election. And it's not just interesting to people who live and vote in Germany, because how Germany goes is will say a lot about what happens with the EU. And this race has seesawed. So right now, the Social Democrats look like they're going to win. They're at 45% odds of getting 205 or more seats in the German parliament. And it looks like it's going to be the SPD that's going to win this in a big way. Now, there was a debate last night, and interestingly enough, the Green candidate did quite well, according to people who watch this closely. Now, she had been plummeting, and her odds of winning are now at just 3% odds, whereas prior to this, she was considered to have a good chance of winning. There was a plagiarism scandal of sorts in which some of her publications and books she wrote were implicated in plagiarism by an Austrian researcher whose job it is to find prominent politicians who plagiarize. So Baerbock, who's the Green candidate, is now given almost no chance of winning. However, she did well in the debate. On the other hand, fascinating, there was a raid on the German finance ministry by the German National Police, and that's the equivalent, and they seized records relating to a financial scandal involving a company called Wirecard. And that would be like the FBI raiding the Treasury Department, Jill, and walking Treasury Department officials off. So the situation is very much in flux. It came up in the debate last night, but Scholz is given a 72% odds of actually winning. And of course, as I said, he's expected to pick up, his party is expected to pick up the most seats. Now, there may also be, there's going to be some type of a coalition. They call it the traffic light coalition, because you get all the different colors, the SPD, the Greens, the FDP, and that's given a 37% odds. But it's way too complicated to go into now, and no one really knows, but traders are betting on the specifics of the outcome of the German election.
All right, now coming back to stateside here, of course, the infrastructure bill, about that getting passed, debating all the internals of that, how it's going to get paid.
Yeah, so sure. Let's start first with taxes, right? The pay-fors on this are important. That's a Washington acronym for how you're going to pay for all the stuff that's being done, including the stimulus package and the infrastructure bill. It used to be that traders thought that the chances of a corporate income tax rate around 21% was higher. Now that's changed. And traders now are betting at 63% odds that the ultimate corporate tax rate is going to be between 24.6 and 27.9%. They're betting it almost 3-to-1 at 63% odds that that's where the corporate tax rate is going to come in. Interestingly enough, with the battle over the weekend between Joe Manchin, the senator from West Virginia, and Bernie Sanders, the senator from Vermont, over the size of the infrastructure bill, traders think that the odds of this bill passing on reconciliation, which is purely a party line vote, with Manchin bowing out, refusing to back a $3.5 trillion bill. It looks, traders just give it a 5% odds of passing on reconciliation. And that's a big drop in terms of what traders are expecting. So, there's 5% odds on that. Traders also think that on the infrastructure bill, there's 79% odds that it's going to be 232 or fewer votes in the House, which is a lot closer than what a bipartisan infrastructure bill presumably would garner.
Right. And John, that really is what the challenge is, whether you're looking at the Democrats or the Republicans. There's a very small group of outliers that are either very progressive or on the other side, very conservative. And it seems as if those very small factions are really the swing votes here that are required to get things passed, since everything is just drawn down the middle.
Right. And then on top of all that, you've got the odds of the, increase in the debt limit, the debt ceiling. Okay. Now those odds are running under 50%, and who knows what's going to happen if that, if those predicted traders are right and the odds are reflective of what's actually going to happen. So there's a lot of moving parts this week, not just in the United States, in Germany as well, and not just in California, in spite of what you might think.
All right, John, appreciate the insight as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you, Jill.